Now then, people, and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. Leeds were thrashed at the Etihad 7-0. Look, if you don't laugh, you'll cry, you know. Obviously, massively disappointed. But City were different gravy tonight, purring like a pussycat, and you know, we gifted them a few chances early doors for sure, but then once they got into the groove, there was no stopping them. You know, it's disappointing from a Leeds United fan perspective. Of course, it is. Even more so, just from the rhetoric from the rest of football. What's going to be aimed at Bielsa? And you know how I feel about Bielsa, about my football club. What's going to be aimed at us? Oh, do we need to check? Listen, I've even seen it from fans of our football club saying, "Oh, Bielsa has taken us." I don't buy into that rhetoric at all, and you won't get that from me. No one is exempt from criticism. Bielsa knows that himself. He's his biggest critic. But let's not lose our heads because we were all buzzing after the Chelsea loss. Obviously, gutted in defeat. Doesn't mean we have to accept getting beat 7-0 away from home. Not saying that for 1 second, but you won't hear me or see me, you know, lynching, you know, calling for the man's head. I think it's madness. People will disagree and will make their voice heard in the comments, and that's fine. But, you know, nothing was stopping them tonight. They were unbelievable. Some of the goals were unreal. The De Bruyne strike, man. When them guys are hitting levels, there's nothing you can do. You know, we have to be objective, not be reactionary. You have to take a step back and take it all in context. City are an elite football club. Champions of England, have one of the best managers to ever grace the game, have elite players at their disposal. You know, we'll be in the running for the Champions League. This is what we're up against. And when you also have to then factor in the fact that Leeds are without Calvin Phillips, Patrick Bamford, you know, the list goes on. Liam Cooper, your captain. There's too many players. I mean, it looks like we've lost Shackleton, and Firpo's going to be suspended for the next game. He could have got a red. He loves a yellow card, that lad. I tell you what, a back Zinchenko yellow card. I should have gone the other way. You know, Shaq's injured. Firpo going to be missing. We're at threadbare, you know. Just to give you some context, you know, the last time we played at City, the average age of our bench was 26-year-old. The average age of the bench this week, or tonight, whenever you're watching this, was 19. So that tells you how depleted the squad is. You know, the bench has Liam McCarron, Jack Jenkins, Cody Drama, Joel Geldar. These kids are barely out of nappies. You know what I mean? And they're being called on. The squad's on. And look, rightly so, stuff will be labelled at the powers that be. We didn't do well in the summer. Bielsa likes a small squad. It's hampering us. I get all that. And no one's exempt from criticism in that respect, 100%. You know, just to give you an idea of how this is, like 42% of Daniel James's successful passes against City became from kickoffs. From kickoffs. Ilian Meslier has conceded as many Premier League goals tonight at the Etihad as Ederson has in the last 9 months. Do you know what I mean? It's not great. But no one will be hurting more than them players and Bielsa himself. You know, and I laugh and I think, you know, if I don't laugh or cry, you know, it's our heaviest Premier League defeat in our club's history, you know, and it's the heaviest defeat of Marcelo Bielsa's managerial career. You know what I mean? But just outclassed from minute 1 to 90. They gave us a little early sight or early doors when Bernardo Silva missed a gilt-edged chance. That was a gift from Llorente, shocking pass, and massive miss from Silva, and it was a huge let-off for Leeds United. Don't think Llorente was good at all tonight. His passes were terrible from the back. And look, they were in the mood, and they just steamrolled us. And they wouldn't just steamroll us. They would steamroll many sides. I've seen on Twitter the only positive you take is that we only have to play them once more. and a reaction for Arsenal's needed, and it's one I think we'll get. I said on my watch along, being ballsy, clip it. We'll beat Arsenal. okay, you know, I was being ballsy. It was in reaction to some comments, but we'll definitely be in the game. You know, I do that. I don't, let's, you know, it's a good point. You know, I hear people say, oh, why not shut up shop, do all that sort of stuff? But Bielsa doesn't do that. We know that. We know that, you know, so that's not going to happen. And we accept that as a fan base, I think. I do. I do. But people say that, oh, look, you lose 3-0, you lose 4-0, okay, you dust yourself down. But 7-0, does it have an adverse effect on the squad as a whole? I don't think it will, because this squad has fortitude, you know what I mean? No more so the man who leads them in Marcelo Bielsa. So I think we'll be all right. But you know, we will dial it back and have a look in some more detail some of the goals. You know, but look, before we do that, like, what I will say is we'll be fine. People on the watch along, like, we went from goal 4 to goal 5 and suddenly we were getting relegated, and I'm like, what made you change your mind between the 4th and 5th goal and then the 6th and the 7th? Like, City were in top gear. Do you know what I mean? They were in top gear. There was nothing you could do. And I don't think, well, at the end of the day, regardless of the scoreline, you still get 0 points. Yeah? Nothing's changed. It's as you were. And our fights this season will come against teams around us, not against City, not against Liverpool, not against Chelsea. You know, if you pick up wins or points in them, it's huge, it's massive. But ultimately, that's not where our season will be won and lost. That's for a West Ham, that's for a Leicester, that's for a Wolves that are chasing the top 4 or chasing the top 6. They have to try and get results in them. We know where we are this season. We're 17 games in now. We know where we are. You know, we're not out of the woods. Do I think we'll go down? No, we'll be totally fine. There are a lot worse teams than us. I believe that. Do you know what I mean? Norwich got beat again tonight. That suits us. We could come out of this 4-game difficult run, and then we've got Villa, which won't be easy. But, you know, come out of that run, and then we play Burnley, and then everything's fine. But I get it. People are in the moment annoyed, frustrated, worried, all that sort of stuff. But I don't know if I don't know. I'm just able to look at it a little bit more objectively now, me personally. Do you know what I mean? And at times you had to sit back and just say, do you know what, City, fair enough. Fair enough. Because they were unreal tonight. And we will dial it back. We will look at it, you know what I mean? Obviously, Leeds set up 4-2-3-1, James up top, Roberts just in behind. You know, there was a lot of clamouring for Geldart. And I said, you know, he manages him perfectly well. I don't think it's the game for him, especially when we're getting beat like we are. It's 3-0 at our time. Bielsa makes the change, brings him on. Rightfully, people saying, oh, I thought you didn't think it was the right game for him, etc. But this is why I'm not in management. You know, he gets paid the big bucks. And I think Geldart improved. I think what I will say, I thought Jack Harrison was good today. There weren't many that were, but I thought he was good. Forshaw, full of endeavour, but the quality of De Bruyne and that was just too easy for them. And he was on his own. Obviously, when Shackleton gets taken out, Dallas has to go right back. Click comes in. Click's been a passenger this season anyway. We know that. You know, I said he'd have a barnstormer. He never. Just willing it more than anything. I think the Leeds fans tonight were all singing his name, which is class to hear. But, you know, you take out Calvin, we lose loads. You've got Bamford from the front as well missing, you know. I think with City, it was more like a 3 at the back. I don't know who was playing right wing back and or Zinchenko. I think maybe Stones was at right back, Zinchenko left back. But no Walker or Cancelo was a big miss for them. But it didn't tell. Obviously, Silva had that massive miss early on. But then, obviously, City go 1-0 up so early in the game. I think it's like 8 minutes. And it was a bit comical, really. I think we made it a little bit too easy for them. And once they got in, then that was it, wasn't it? Once they'd scored early. You know, if you remember at Ellen Road last season when we drew 1-1, there genuinely is a period in that first 15, 20 minutes where they battered us and could easily have won that game. And we managed to dig in and stay in the game and then got back in it later on, right? That didn't happen today. They took their chances. Do you know what I mean? And that's the difference, you know. They were lethal today. but we helped them. You know, the goal from Foden, Rodri, I mean, he was great tonight for me. Rodri bossed it. But there was challenges from Roberts and Ayling that were both pretty poor. Then Meslier comes out. I just clear him out. Do you know what I mean? Get the ball. He went with his feet, unlike him. And then it falls back to Foden. Dallas has a chance to clear it off the line. It was just a catalogue of errors, and it was pretty comical at first. And I thought Llorente aided them many times. Slack passing early doors wasn't great. They then obviously go 2-0 up through Jack Grealish. It's a great cross from Mahrez. Said it during, what a cross. But then when you dial it back and look at it, how Grealish has managed to get the run on Ayling, Firpo and Forshaw is beyond me. And we were just really poor, giving them chance after chance. I thought Grealish from the left gave Shackleton all sorts of nightmares. Rodri bossing it. City looked like they had an extra man at times. Do you know what I mean? I did lose my head a bit on the watch along when they went 3-0 up from a Kevin De Bruyne goal, because it looked like there was a foul on Rafinha. But look, the man marking didn't work. We were being pulled all over, and then De Bruyne got the run in, and then Shackleton got injured. Click came on, Dallas at right wing back. It's another injury. And in that first half, we had 6 final third passes in 45 minutes. 6. I think there was a chance for Firpo at the end of the game. He should have hit it. He's now out for the next match as well after getting that yellow card. Second half came around, they made a challenge. I think Gundogan came on for Bernardo Silva. We even seen Nathan Ake coming on, and he bloody scored as well, didn't he? Mahrez scored. There was a chance for Gundogan not long after that as well, and Mahrez played an absolutely sumptuous ball over. Roberts got left for dust. I think he was too easy to run off tonight a lot of the time. I think Rodri did it a few times. And you just have to appreciate it. You just have to appreciate it. De Bruyne scores with an unreal goal. He was in acres of space, though. Don't get me wrong. The midfield was non-existent again. But he scores a lovely goal. That's 5, I think. Then Stones gets in on the act. Good ball from Fernandinho from the right-hand side. And I think it's a header. Good save. And then Stones gets 2 bites of the cherry. And then we have the 7th, of course. Drama's on at this point, and he leaves Nathan Ake, and Nathan Ake has an easy header, really good movement, but Drama was caught ball watching, well, not ball watching, just unable to stay with his man, you know what I mean, unable to stay with his man. But yeah, Bielsa's been speaking. He said, look, there's nothing positive to take from the performance. He can't find nothing of value. He's gone on to say we've never played so badly in 4 years. So he's not happy. He's not happy. Apparently he spent a lot of time at the touchline at the end, staring into the pitch, saying very little. I don't know. Maybe he looks at that. You know what Bielsa's like, and I say to folk, be careful what you wish for, man. Be careful what you wish for, because people say, oh, we need a change, we need this, we need that. It'd be a lot worse if he wasn't in charge. And it's times like this where you do worry, because of the way he is, that he could go, yeah, maybe I have taken them as far as I can. But nah, it'd be the worst thing to happen at this football club if that man left. And that's just my opinion. That's my opinion. And I'll stick by it until he decides, like, at the end of the season, look, okay, now let's go off. Let's part our ways. Let's do it amicably. Let's have it nice. None of this stuff that I hear and see. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried, though. I can't lie about him. Him more than anything. I know we'll be okay over the course of the season. We'll be a totally different team at the weekend against Arsenal. I think he might shuffle the pack because he's obviously not happy with the performance, and he may put trust in more of the young lads. You might see Drama, you might see Creswell, you might see Geldart. Yeah, not great tonight, obviously. Worst Premier League defeat. Worst defeat of Bielsa's career himself. But yeah, we move, man. We move. That's all you can do. I understand people are hurt and angry, but that's all you can do. Do you know what I mean? And we've got to look ahead then to Arsenal at home, which becomes a massive game now for me. Because they are there for the taking, and we need to have a performance. We need to have a performance. We need points as well. We need points as well. But yeah, I think that's enough. I think that's enough from me. Thank you as always for watching. Please like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Comment and hit that notification bell. And I'll see you tomorrow night for the midweek fix. Probably around about 7 o'clock, something like that. Anyway, and then we'll be looking ahead to Arsenal. So thank you as always for watching. Peace out. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.